Uh, Man, the desire to get better is like an unquenchable thirst. And, just because, you know, just because I'm the one that is teaching, for lack of better words, that doesn't mean that I'm not here to train. So, I mean, being with my instructor for coming up on 20 years, and every time I go back and see him, I feel like a child again. I feel like I'm in a candy store. I got my notebook. I got the butterflies in my stomach. I still got that shyness like around him, or I don't want to let him down, but I want to give all the effort I got. And if I don't have it, I want to make sure he knows that I don't have it, because he wants me to have it, and I want it. So the theme for this movement has always been individual progression. It's about, I always say this, being able to do a little more today than you did yesterday. Just make that effort to really let the person understand that, I'm here for them. And everybody that walks in the door brings something different to the table. So, the theory of each one teach one comes alive because the classes, they evolve in different ways based on who's there that day. So, I would just say that, that's a really important thing that I believe is getting lost in the culture of teaching martial arts, is, making it more than just a reproducible art, making it more than just a cookie cutter set of movements that don't become innate to people. So, one of the things that we make sure we incorporate in every class is that the students take the time to put their own signature, their own way of movement on top of these sets of formal movements and standardized drills and flows that we practice, because the only thing that they're going to go home with is what they have. They're going to move like themselves. So it's important that the student can make those connections between the attainable movements that we practice and the realism of the practice and actual application scenarios. When you first understand Mushin, and then the more you do it, the smaller light bulbs keep going off, and then when you're in it, you start to, oh wow, this feels better in this moment, and you go from person to person to person, and eventually you get to a point where you could have 20 people in a row. They're all practicing with you, one after another. You're throwing the same dude with the same technique, but it feels different, and you adapt different every single time. The other person just doesn't realize that, because that feeling, that chemistry, that interaction is a moment that's never going to be recreated. So,
Shion, how do you feel when you meet a new student? What do you really want to staple on when you first meet a student?
That's an excellent question. When I first meet a student, I immediately want to relate to him that everybody's human. I want to relate to him that everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and that we're all just trying to get better.
Where do you feel like you would want our school to be, or where do you want to be in the future?
Top of the world, man. I want to be on the top of the world. You know what I mean? Like, not by myself. You know what I mean? I want to be able to look to the left and to the right, and then see this thing that Dr. Moses Powell put into place. It's powerful, it's beautiful. You know what I mean? Professor World was like, you go back to him and he has something different for you. You know, we call it coming back to the well, but water is different every single time, and that's admirable. It shouldn't be. It should be a household name. Snooker should be a household name. So yeah, motivation, my teacher, that fire, you know, it just, some people play basketball and they can't get enough, you know. This is my love, I can't get enough. And I want to share it, I don't just want to practice it, be the best and get older. I want to share it. It's a long time coming. You know, I got a huge amount of respect for my Sanukas elders. I'm happy to be on the forefront of blowing this thing wide open and making it a household name. So, I mean, when I walk, I always say when I first started class, I wanted it to be like that scene from Enter the Dragon when Bruce Lee's coming down in the helicopter and he's looking down at the whole island and O'Hara and everybody is in there throwing those straight punches, you know. That was my vision. That was my vision from the beginning. So, I mean, who was out here teaching water how to flow? Like, we're studying how water flows. You know what I mean? And we're making that water work for us in a moment where there's a conversation between bodies. And we're still being mentally conscious of how we're applying the movements in those moments. I mean, that's something admirable to strive for, something very unique. I haven't found it in any system other than Sanuka Rule Jiu-Jitsu. Good, small joint lock. Hey, that's work. That's work. Good.